Well, howdy guys. Welcome back to RC Restomod. Today we're going to go through the second half, roughly half, of my addiction here. What's under this cloth right here is the Temu boat. Some things have happened to it. All the electronics are out. There's one other little change that's going on. But the fact of the matter is you don't get to see that one just yet. We're going to save that for another video. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what's happening to it. All right, next up we have this. It is another two-wheel drive Slash. But this one is nitro powered. This is the only nitro powered car I own. Spoiler alert, you're not going to see another nitro. The transmission is out of it. There's some gears that are not where they should be. It's going to be a bit interesting to get this thing figured out and working again. But we're going to do that. We're just not going to do it today. I've been putting it off because I'm not a fan of nitros. And to be quite honest with you, I'm a little bit worried about this one. But anyway, car number 2 is another work in progress. Or work awaiting progress is probably more accurate. The Nitro Slash. This is my Traxxas TRX4M High Trail Edition. You saw it just a couple of videos back where we put the lights in it. If you haven't seen that, go back and check it out and you can see just how cool this one is. This one's gonna get babied just because I like it so much. I don't know why. I just really like this one. This one actually does not belong to me. This one is an Axial SCX24. It belongs to my wife. It's got the Bronco hard body on it, and I bought this for her for Christmas. But it was a better gift than what you think. Hang in there just a second and I'll show you why. I'm going to put a picture of my wife's daily driver right here. All right, now that you've seen her daily driver, this was the Christmas gift. It even says Firestorm right here. There was red on the wheels, but when I cleaned them today, the red on the wheels kind of fell off. We'll have to see if we can't put that back. But it's a pretty decent scale model of her daily. It was painted by my friend Josh Allen from a clear body to match her Jeep. I think he did a great job, and I think it's pretty cool. And it gets babied a little bit more than my TRX4M does. Shh, don't tell her I said that. All right, and while we're talking about crawlers, this is my first 1/10 scale crawler. It is a Carisma Scale or SCA1E Toyota Tacoma. I think it looks way cool. I did put the bead locks and the Scale Patagonia MTs on it. It came with some really terrible RTR wheels because I bought it secondhand, and it's got a few Traxxas electronic parts in it, but it's been really trouble-free and performs way better than I expected it to. But anyway, that's my first 10th scale crawler. This is my second 10th scale crawler. And you may not believe it to look at it, but this is a almost bone stock Traxxas TRX4. It's not a sport. It does have the locking differentials. Of course, the body is not stock. And because the body was not stock, I had to make the fender well liners so that you couldn't just see all the way through, which looked really bad. I cut down the factory bumpers. There'll be something better done in the future, but right now, I don't really give this thing any mercy. I beat on it relentlessly. I got some some beadlocks here that I thought looked kind of military and tough. And then these big Mickey Thompsons. I forget who made these. They may be RC. I just don't remember who built these, but they're very soft and pliable. They're in a compound called Predator, so they bite like crazy. This thing is an animal. It climbs, it goes. Could be faster because I still got stock electronics in it, but I've decided I'm just going to beat on this thing relentlessly, and whatever breaks gets upgraded. Now the body, something I did do that is kind of working out a little bit. I painted it. When I painted it, I started on the inside with just a dry brush, and I brushed a rust color in all the corners and stuff to where I thought the body would rust in real life. And then I back colored it in silver. The red is on the outside, so when it crashes and scrapes on things like it did down here, the silver and rust color kind of show through in hopes that it makes it look like it scuffed the paint off of an actual metal body. It remains to be seen how well that's going to work, but you can see the silver color showing through here and up here, right in here. It's pretty rough because I've crashed it. Like I said, I don't show this thing any mercy when we go out crawling, and it's a beast and it's a lot of fun. I'm sure that we'll have a crawling day pretty soon now that the weather's starting to cool off, and you'll get to see some footage of this thing doing what it does. All right, this one is it's the first oval track car we've shown up here, and if you watch very much of my channel, you know I really like RC oval racing. This is what we call an SC late model. There's two kinds of late model. There's buggy based, which we just call late model, and then there's SC late model, and this is based on a short course chassis. This one's based on an associated SC 6.2. The advantage to that is it's mid-motor. So the reason I chose this chassis is I wanted to have a mid-motor car because both of my other cars are rear motor, and I just wanted to do something a little different. I like it a lot. It's fast, it's fun, and it looks pretty cool, especially when it's out there on the track. Just the whole girth of this thing makes it's kind of easy to see where your weight's transferring, because when you get to the corner and the back end comes up and the front end comes down, you can plainly see that from the driver's stand. You can see the body roll over and take a set. This thing's a bit more advanced than the others. If you look at these rear control arms, they're adjustable, and that really changes the handling and affects the way it goes through the corners a lot. Anyway, this one is oval car number 2. It's been in a couple of videos. The main one was its comparison to the Traxxas modified. But this is a pretty basic Salvus mud boss, high center of gravity Traxxas slash chassis. It's got the Kumo tires from the ultimate version of the slash. It's a good little car. It's been the finishes haven't been good, but it's been fast in the past. Hopefully it will be again. I didn't get too carried away cleaning this one because this is Tuesday, and Tuesday is test and tune before a race night, so it's going to get some laps put on it this evening. Might even get some footage of that for an upcoming video. This one is the last of my oval cars, number 4. The first one was in the previous collection video. This one is my street stock. It's based on an associated SR10. Given my last name's Campbell, I had some fun with painting the car in a 2-tone with a gold stripe, just like the cans. The 7D6 number. When I was younger, I used to go to a local dirt track in Abilene, Texas, when I lived there. And one of the really fast guys, the number on his car was 4T6. So that when he traveled around and they had to do He started doing that before transponders, when they would keep score by hand, and if he traveled to another race and there was a car that was also, 46, his would be distinctive by being 4T6, so he wouldn't have to put duct tape all over his car to try to change the number or something. Anyway, I thought it was cool, and 4T6, unless you say it's slow, 46 sounds right. I wanted to do the same thing with 7D6 because we're Texans and it sounds more like 7D than 7T. So anyway, that's what I did on it. Had kind of a little smart aleck deal on the back with it being cream of whoop ass. And then the part that always cracks me up is the back spoiler where it says good. I love this little car, and it has won in a race that was actually competitive. 6 cars on the track, and one of the cars being piloted by a guy that's beat me in almost, we've probably 90% of all the races I've ever run, he's been a competitor in it and beat me, and I beat him that night. He finished second, and like, he was qualified ahead of me, and early on I passed him and I won the race, and I am so proud of that, and I'll always love this little car just from that one night. So that's my street stock, and that's the end of my oval track cars. This one is my Low C Mini T 2.0 brushless. My wife and I were going on a camping trip, and we stopped to visit Money Pit Hobbies in Abilene, and I realized I hadn't brought an RC car to mess around with when we were on the camping trip. So I was looking around, and I had seen some of my friends driving these and they looked cool, so I bought one. And we got there, I put it on the charger. These are pretty neat. They come with everything. It even had the batteries for the remote. So anyway, I got it all charged up and ready to go, and I took it out, and I was going down this road, and I found where the little paved things that were set up for the camping trailers to go back into their slip, there was a nice little ramp effect on it. And I had jumped a couple of them, and it was cool, and I picked one that had a really good approach on. And there was just one little stick sticking up. I'll try to show it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get the little stick. But about the time I ran into that little stick, I found out that if you look at it the other way, it looks like this. And it makes your little Mini T look like this. Anyway, I had to buy a new body, a few other parts to get it all put back together, which I did pretty quickly, but I didn't get to enjoy my car much on that trip. Oh well, things happen. This one, my wife got it for me for my birthday. She had found it on Temu and just thought it looked cool. It's a 1/16 monster truck, and it's good. It really is, especially given the price. I'll try to show a picture of it on Temu because it's still available. But this thing's actually good. It's a lot of fun, and I mean, I'm not going to take it to a skate park and just send it to the moon, but I'm not really scared to beat on it because it's proven to be pretty tough. I've accidentally run into some things and it's taken it. It's 4-wheel drive. It's brush, so it's not super fast, but it's fast enough to be fun. It's pretty well built. I don't think there's any oil in the shocks, but we're not racing it. We're just bashing it around and spinning donuts and going backwards and then throwing the power to it till it pops a wheelie. And it's fun to play with. It's got lights in the grill guard. It's just a cool little truck, and it's a lot of fun to play with. All right, guys. This was the gateway drug. For my 50th birthday, my wife took me to Dallas, and we ate in good restaurants, stayed in a nice hotel, just had a good time. And one of the things that she wanted to do while she was there was visit a hobby shop to look up some of the nerdy stuff that she and her kids really like. Well, I amused myself by walking over to the side of the shop where they had the RC cars, and I saw a Slash with this livery on it, and I fell in love. I didn't buy it that day, but when we got home, I kept looking at stuff online about the Slash, and I was Googling things like best first RC car, and the Slash four-wheel drive VXL just kept coming up and kept coming up and kept coming up. And I've got sick and tired of seeing me Googling it, so I didn't have permission, but I was instructed to purchase this thing, and I love it. When we go to parades, I put an American flag on the back and run it around. It's fast, it's fun. I started racing with this one, and it got beat to heck. I mean, at one point, one of my buddies, I was rolling jumps because I suck at off-road racing. He came over the top and landed on top of this thing, and the body was sticking straight out. I had to pop it back in position. It was ripped and torn and awful. So I bought a new body off eBay. It was originally for a two-wheel drive, which is why there's an antenna hole that'll never be used, but it looks right. I took the whole thing apart, cleaned all the pieces, put it back together. These are not Slash wheels. These were some cheapies off Amazon because I knew I wasn't going to race it anymore. And I just actually thought they looked better than the Traxxas wheels. With the blue beadlock, I think it looks, the black wheel with the blue beadlock actually looks better on the car than something that's chromed. But yeah, this is the one that started it all. I'm kind of careful with it now. I really try to keep it right side up. It gets bashed around a little bit, but it gets driven, not bashed. It gets driven, and it runs in parades, because at parade pace where you're not really going full speed and throwing, jumping and all that, it'll run like an hour on a fully charged 2S battery, just running around like that. It's a ton of fun. It looks cool, but yeah, this is how it all got started. So be careful about buying an RC car, because it may start you off to where you've got one and you like it. 4 years later, you got 20 and you love it, and you're thinking about buying more. Anyway, that's how bad the addiction is with me right now. We may do an update that'll show anything, maybe 6 months from now, I'll show you the new ones that have come into my life since then. But if you enjoyed it, give me a like and a subscribe. Drop a comment about what your first car was. I'd be willing to bet you that a majority of people started out with something from Traxxas, and I'm going to guess that for at least half of them, it was a Slash that started them down the dark road of RC addiction. Anyway, when new cars show up, you'll hear about it. When cars get fixed up, changed up, or any other kind of RC shenanigans I get into, you'll see it on RC Restomod.